California fan palms are the Mike Pence of Sonoran Desert vegetation. They're incredibly modest. They cover up everything all the way up to their necks, practically, like they're a Puritan pilgrim, or like it's a burqa. But depending on where you are, you may not be able to wear a burqa. Or like they're just a Californian when it's 60 degrees out and they put on a winter parka. But anyways, they've got these shaggy, scruffy petticoats that cover up their entire trunk. And that's also why they're called the petticoat palm in some areas, because of their huge, long, shaggy skirt. And they will not show you their trunks unless you come by and rip it off. Literally, it takes extreme forces of nature to expose their trunks. And the California fan palm is native primarily to the Sonoran Desert of California, Arizona, and northwest Mexico. But isolated populations do live in the Mojave Desert of southern Nevada. And although these palms are not just found in California, they're generally called the California fan palm because what is California if not for trying to control everything and have a monopoly over the names? So, yeah, in Arizona, a lot of people like to call them the desert fan palm because we don't want California to take any more. So these palms need water, more water than the vast majority of Sonoran Desert landscapes can support. And that's why the fan palms are limited to desert oases and areas near waterways. They're probably most common around springs in southeastern California. And some consider them the same species as the Mexican fan palm. That's a fan palm found just to the south of the range of the California fan palm. They're generally taller. They lack the shaggy coat, so they have pretty bare trunks. But both of these varieties, Mexican fan palm and California fan palm, are planted ornamentally around Los Angeles and throughout Southern California. So they're pretty common. You've probably seen them you've definitely seen them if you live in Southern California. But they are very, very, very pleasing to look at. And yeah, that's the California fan palm. Smart, resourceful, and rare. And I especially like the California fan palm. It's one of my favorite palm trees. If I had to rank all the palms in my life, it would be up there because it's the only native palm to the American Southwest. And that's special, I'd have to go down to South Florida and see the royal palms if I wanted to really get another good native palm. And even Hawaii doesn't have many native palms. A lot of people think palms are more common than they are because they're planted everywhere, but they're actually not that common in the wild, at least in this part of the world. And I do want to say, though, that they just like to stay hidden. The California fan palm, they're hidden in all these little cracks and crevices and canyons in the middle of the Sonoran Desert that you'll never come across. They need to be in areas where they can reach the water table and take a big sip because they need that water, and they're big and domineering, and they need that. It's funny, it's ironic because they're huge things, but they like to hide. They like to hide geographically, but they also like to hide behind their little shaggy coats. So they're modest. Like I said, they're like the Mike Pence. They wait in the wings, they hide in the shadows, but then they come out when they want to write a book and run for president, maybe. So that might come for the California fan palm. They might all of a sudden just rip off their little coats and, become the next Kardashian, but time will tell.